Ladies and gentlemen, gathered here today beneath the vast canopy of human consciousness, we embark on a journey into the intricate dance between the empath and the narcissist. This relationship, fraught with complexity and paradox, invites us to delve deeply into the wells of psyche, where light and shadow intermingle, where anima and animus, the conscious and the unconscious, engage in their eternal waltz. The empath, that luminous soul who perceives the subtleties of human emotion, is often drawn irresistibly towards the narcissist, whose outward charm masks an inner void. Here, we find ourselves confronting the enigma of opposites, a motif that echoes throughout the human experience. The empath's light, so gentle and nurturing, is not a balm for the narcissist's wounds, but rather a searing flame that exposes their inner emptiness. This dynamic, rich with symbolic meaning, invites us to explore the deeper archetypal patterns at play. In the realm of analytical psychology, we understand that the empath represents the archetype of the healer, the one who feels compelled to mend the brokenness they perceive in others. This archetype, deeply rooted in our collective unconscious, speaks to our innate desire for wholeness. However, the empath's light, when directed towards the narcissist, does not heal, but illuminates the shadows that the narcissist desperately seeks to conceal. The narcissist embodies the archetype of the trickster, a figure who delights in appearances, in the deception of self and others. The trickster's charm is captivating, drawing the empath into a dance that is as old as time itself. As we explore this dynamic, let us consider the role of individuation, the process by which we integrate the disparate parts of our psyche to achieve a greater sense of self. The empath, in their quest to heal the narcissist, may neglect their own journey of individuation, becoming lost in the labyrinths of another psyche. Here lies the danger to project one's light onto another. Hoping to transform them is to ignore the vital work of transforming oneself. The empath's journey must be one of self-discovery, of turning inward to illuminate their own shadows. In myth and legend, we find countless tales of heroes who embark on a quest to conquer external foes, only to discover that the true battle lies within. The empath, likewise, must recognize that the narcissist is not an enemy to be vanquished, but a reflection of their own unacknowledged desires and fears. The narcissist, with the grandiose facade, mirrors the empath's shadow, the parts of themselves that they have disowned or repressed. The task then is not to heal the narcissist, but to embrace one's own shadow, to integrate it into the wholeness of being. Dreams, those nightly visitations from the unconscious, offer profound insights into this dynamic. An empath may dream of a radiant light that is both beautiful and blinding, a symbol of their own potential and the danger of losing oneself in another's darkness. In these dreams, the narcissist may appear as a beguiling figure, offering promises of love and validation, yet beneath the surface lies a void, a chasm that the empath cannot fill. Such dreams remind us that the path to wholeness requires discernment. From the ability to see beyond the illusion of the narcissist's charm and into the truth of one's own soul, the narcissist, driven by an insatiable need for admiration, seeks validation from the external world, yet is haunted by a profound sense of emptiness. In this way, they are like Icarus, who flew too close to the sun, blinded by the light of his own ambition. The empath, drawn to this light, risks being scorched by its intensity. The lesson here is clear: to fly too close to the sun without recognizing one's own limitations invites disaster. The empath must learn to balance their desire to help with the necessity of self-preservation. In the alchemical tradition, the process of transformation involves the union of opposites, the reconciliation of dualities. The empath and the narcissist, though seemingly antithetical, offer each other the opportunity for growth and transformation. The empath, by confronting the narcissist's shadow, is called to acknowledge their own capacity for narcissism, for self-absorption and vanity. The narcissist, in turn, is challenged to confront their fear of vulnerability, to risk the descent into the depths of their own psyche. The symbolism of light and darkness permeates this relationship, serving as a reminder of the dual nature of the psyche. Light, though often associated with truth and goodness, can also blind and burn. Darkness, though feared and shunned, can offer refuge and insight. The empath and the narcissist, locked in their dance, embody this duality, each reflecting the other's light and shadow. It is through this interplay that the potential for individuation arises, for it is only by confronting and embracing the totality of one's being that true healing can occur. As we stand at the threshold of this exploration, let us remember that the journey of the psyche is not linear but cyclical. The empath and the narcissist, though seemingly locked in a perpetual struggle, offer each other the opportunity to break free from the constraints of their archetypal roles. The empath, by turning inward, can harness their light to illuminate their own path, while the narcissist, by embracing their vulnerability, can discover the richness of their inner world. In this way, the empath's light does not merely burn the narcissist, but serves as a catalyst for transformation, inviting both to embark on the journey of self-discovery. This journey, though fraught with challenges, offers the promise of wholeness, of a reconciliation of opposites that transcends the limitations of the individual psyche. And so, as we continue our exploration, let us hold in our hearts the wisdom of the ages, the understanding that within each of us lies the potential for transformation, for the alchemical marriage of light and shadow that leads to the realization of the self. As we journey further into the depths of the psyche, let us consider the nature of the empath's light, that ethereal glow which emanates from a place of deep sensitivity and awareness. This light is not a mere superficial brightness. It is the luminescence of an inner knowing a profound attunement to the emotional currents that flow through the collective unconscious. The empath, akin to an ancient oracle, channels this light, drawing from the deep wellspring of human experience. Yet, as with all gifts, this sensitivity carries with it a burden, a vulnerability to the energies of others, particularly those who dwell in the darker recesses of the psyche. The narcissist, ensnared in a web of self-aggrandizement, perceives the empath's light as both alluring and threatening. This paradoxical perception can be likened to the myth of Narcissus, who, entranced by his own reflection, fails to recognize the depth of the water that would ultimately claim him. The narcissist is entrapped by their own reflection, the image they project to the world, unable to penetrate beyond the surface to the deeper truths that lie beneath. The empath's light, however, has the power to pierce this veil of illusion, revealing the shadow that lurks within. In the dance between these two archetypes, we witness a struggle for authenticity. The empath, compelled by their innate desire for truth and connection, seeks to penetrate the narcissist's facade, to uncover the genuine self that lies hidden beneath layers of defense mechanisms. Yet, this endeavor is fraught with peril, for the narcissist's defenses are formidable, honed over years of self-deception and denial. The empath, if not careful, may find themselves ensnared in the narcissist's web, their light dimmed by the pull of the other's shadow. This interaction invites us to ponder the nature of projection, a core concept in analytical psychology. Projection occurs when we disown aspects of ourselves, casting them onto others, seeing in them the qualities we cannot acknowledge within ourselves. The empath, in the throes of projection, may see the narcissist as a wounded child, a soul in need of rescue. This projection, though well-intentioned, serves to obscure the reality of the narcissist's own agency and responsibility. It is a misrecognition, a failure to see the narcissist as they truly are, with both light and shadow. Simultaneously, the narcissist projects their own inadequacies and fears onto the empath, perceiving their light as an accusation, a reminder of their own inner void. This dynamic, a dance of projections, creates a hall of mirrors in which both parties struggle to discern truth from illusion. To navigate this labyrinth, one must cultivate discernment, the ability to see beyond the projections, to recognize the reality of the other as distinct from one's own inner landscape. Dreams, those nocturnal journeys into the soul's depths, offer guidance in this endeavor. An empath may dream of a labyrinth, a twisting maze that confounds and confuses. Within this dreamscape, the narcissist may appear as a shadowy figure, elusive and ever-changing, a symbol of the empath's own unacknowledged fears and desires. Such dreams beckon the empath to confront their projections, to embrace the complexity of their own psyche, to acknowledge the shadow within. The narcissist, too, is not immune to the wisdom of dreams. They may dream of a mirror, a reflective surface that reveals not only their outer visage, but the inner self they strive to conceal. In these dreams, The empath may appear as a beacon of light, guiding the narcissist towards a deeper understanding of themselves, challenging them to confront the emptiness they feel. These dreams, if heeded, offer the potential for transformation, for the integration of the shadow into the consciousness of both parties. In this intricate dance, the concept of the shadow becomes paramount. The shadow, that repository of all that we reject and deny within ourselves, is a powerful force within the psyche. For the empath, the shadow may manifest as a reluctance to acknowledge their own needs and desires, a tendency to self-sacrifice in the pursuit of healing others. For the narcissist, the shadow is the yawning chasm of insecurity, the fear of unworthiness that drives their relentless quest for validation. To engage with the shadow is to embark on the hero's journey, to confront the dragon within, to reclaim the parts of ourselves we have cast into darkness. The alchemical process of transformation requires the recognition and integration of the shadow, a journey that demands courage and perseverance. The empath, in embracing their shadow, discovers the strength that lies within vulnerability, the power of self-love and acceptance. The narcissist, in confronting their shadow, finds the potential for genuine connection, the richness of an authentic self that does not rely on external validation. This process, though arduous, offers the promise of individuation, the realization of the self in its fullest expression. As we navigate this landscape of the psyche, let us remember the words of Heraclitus, who spoke of the unity of opposites, the harmony that arises from the tension between conflicting forces. The empath and the narcissist, though seemingly at odds, embody this principle of unity. Their interaction, fraught with challenges, serves as a microcosm of the greater journey of the soul, a journey towards wholeness and integration. In our exploration, we must not lose sight of the power of symbols, those bridges between the conscious and the unconscious, the personal and the collective. Symbols speak to us in the language of the soul, offering insights that transcend the limitations of rational thought. The empath's light, the narcissist's shadow, the dance of projections, all are symbols that invite us to delve deeper, to uncover the mysteries of the psyche, to embrace the totality of our being. As we draw this discourse to a close, let us turn our gaze inward to the unexplored territories of our own souls. The empath and the narcissist, though external archetypes, are also reflections of our internal world. We are called to engage with our own light and shadow, to embark on the journey of self-discovery, to embrace the paradoxes within this journey, though deeply personal, is also universal, and a testament to the shared humanity that binds us all. And so I invite you to explore the depths of your own psyche, to illuminate the shadows that reside within, to embark on the path of individuation. In this quest, may you find the courage to embrace both light and shadow, to recognize the unity that arises from their reconciliation, and to realize the potential for transformation that lies within the heart of the human soul. As we continue our exploration into the profound interplay between the empath and the narcissist, let us delve deeper into the realm of the unconscious, where the archetypes reside and influence our behaviors in ways both subtle and overt. The archetypes, those primordial images and motifs, are the architects of the psyche, shaping our perceptions, dreams, and interactions. In the context of this complex relationship, they offer a lens through which we can discern the underlying patterns that bind these two seemingly disparate souls. The empath, embodying the archetype of the healer, is driven by an intrinsic desire to soothe and mend. This archetype is not merely a role but a calling, a deep-seated impulse to restore balance where there is discord. Yet within this noble pursuit lies a hidden danger, the temptation to become the martyr. The empath light, when unchecked, can lead to self-neglect, a sacrifice of one's own needs and boundaries in the service of others. This martyrdom, though often unconscious, is a shadow aspect of the healer archetype, a reminder of the necessity of self-care and boundaries. Conversely, the narcissist represents the archetype of the ruler, a figure who seeks power and control, whose identity is constructed upon the approval and adulation of others. This archetype, though outwardly commanding, is often built upon a fragile foundation of insecurity and self-doubt. The ruler's shadow is the tyrant, a manifestation of fear and inadequacy that seeks to dominate rather than cooperate. In the presence of the empath's light, the narcissist's shadow is both exposed and challenged, evoking a defensive posture that seeks to preserve the carefully crafted facade. This dynamic, rich with symbolic meaning, invites us to consider the role of the anima and animus within the psyche. The anima, the feminine aspect within the male psyche, and the animus, the masculine aspect within the female psyche, serve as bridges to the unconscious, mediating our inner and outer experiences. In the empath-narcissist relationship, these inner figures play a crucial role in shaping perceptions and interactions. For the empath, the anima may manifest as a nurturing, intuitive presence, guiding them towards deeper understanding and empathy. Yet, if unbalanced, the anima can also lead to excessive emotionality and self-sacrifice, a blurring of boundaries that leaves the empath vulnerable to manipulation. The task, then, is to integrate the animus, to cultivate a sense of assertiveness and discernment that complements the anima's sensitivity. For the narcissist, the animus often appears as a forceful, rational presence, driving the pursuit of success and validation. However, when disconnected from the anima, the animus becomes rigid, unable to access the deeper emotional truths that lie beneath the surface. The narcissist's challenge is to embrace the anima, to allow vulnerability and emotional depth to inform their interactions, to recognize that true power lies not in domination but in connection. The interplay of these inner figures reflects the broader theme of integration, the synthesis of opposites that is central to the process of individuation. In this journey, the empath and the narcissist serve as mirrors for one another, each reflecting the qualities that the other must integrate to achieve wholeness. The empath's journey involves embracing their own power and autonomy, while the narcissist's path requires the cultivation of empathy and emotional awareness. As we contemplate this dynamic, let us consider the role of synchronicity, those meaningful coincidences that reveal the interconnectedness of all things. In the empath-narcissist relationship, synchronicities often arise as moments of insight, when the veils of illusion are momentarily lifted, revealing the deeper truths that bind them. These moments, though fleeting, offer glimpses into the workings of the unconscious, inviting both parties to reflect upon their inner landscapes and the patterns that govern their lives. In the alchemical tradition, these moments of insight are akin to the process of illumination. The stage in which the alchemist gains clarity and understanding. The empath, in moments of synchronicity, may gain insight into their own patterns of self-sacrifice. Recognizing the need to establish boundaries and prioritize self-care, the narcissist, when confronted with a synchronistic event, may glimpse the emptiness of their pursuits, the futility of seeking validation from without rather than within. These insights, though personal, resonate with universal themes, reminding us of the interconnectedness of the human experience. The empath and the narcissist, through their interactions, contribute to the unfolding narrative of the collective unconscious, a tapestry woven from the threads of individual psyches. As we draw this part of our exploration to a close, let us turn our attention to the potential for transformation that lies within each of us. The journey of the psyche is one of continual growth and evolution, a dance of integration and differentiation. The empath and the narcissist, in their complex interplay, offer us a microcosm of this greater journey, a reminder that within each relationship lies the potential for healing and transformation. In the spirit of this exploration, I invite you to reflect upon your own inner dynamics, to consider the archetypes that shape your perceptions and interactions. Embrace the light and shadow within, recognizing that both are integral to the wholeness of the self. Allow the wisdom of the unconscious to guide you, to illuminate the path towards greater self-awareness and authenticity. In this journey, may you find the courage to confront your own shadows, to integrate the disparate parts of your psyche, and to embrace the totality of your being. For it is through this process of individuation that we achieve not only personal fulfillment, but contribute to the greater harmony of the collective unconscious. And so, as we continue on this path, let us do so with open hearts and minds, ever mindful of the light and shadow that reside within us all. As we delve further into the intricate dynamics between the empath and the narcissist, we must consider the profound influence of the collective unconscious, that vast reservoir of shared human experiences and archetypal symbols. This domain, where the boundaries between individual and collective blur, offers rich insights into the nature of human relationships and the patterns that underpin them. The empath, with their heightened sensitivity to the emotional currents of others, often taps into the collective unconscious with ease. They are attuned to the subtle vibrations of the human soul, perceiving not only the emotions of those around them, but also the archetypal stories that shape their lives. This sensitivity, while a profound gift, can also be a source of overwhelm, as the empath may find themselves inundated by the emotions and energies of the collective. It is here that the empath must learn to discern between their own emotions and those of the collective, to establish boundaries that protect their own psychic integrity. The narcissist, in contrast, often remains disconnected from the deeper currents of the collective unconscious, their focus fixed on the external world and the validation it provides. Yet, despite this disconnection, they are nonetheless influenced by the archetypal patterns that reside within the collective. The narcissist may embody the hero archetype, striving for greatness and recognition. Yet, their journey is often one of hubris, a cautionary tale of the dangers of over-identification with the ego. In the interplay between these two figures, we witness a reenactment of ancient myths, those timeless tales that speak to the universal truths of the human condition. The empath, like the compassionate healer of myth, seeks to mend the wounds of the narcissist, to bring light to the darkness they perceive. Yet, in doing so, they may inadvertently play the role of the enabler, perpetuating the narcissist's patterns by providing the attention and validation they crave. The narcissist, like the tragic hero, may be caught in a cycle of self-destruction, their pursuit of external validation leading them further from the truth of their own soul. It is a path fraught with peril, yet one that offers the potential for redemption, should they be willing to confront the shadow within and embrace the vulnerability they so fear. In this dance of light and shadow, we are reminded of the dual nature of the psyche, the interplay of opposites. That is central to the process of individuation. The empath and the narcissist, through their interactions, offer each other the opportunity for growth and transformation. The empath, by recognizing their own patterns of self-sacrifice, can learn to assert their needs and boundaries, cultivating a sense of self-worth that is independent of external validation. The narcissist, by confronting their fear of vulnerability, can discover the richness of their inner world, finding fulfillment in genuine connection rather than superficial adulation. As we contemplate these dynamics, let us consider the role of the personal unconscious, that repository of forgotten memories and repressed emotions. The personal unconscious, though distinct from the collective, is nevertheless shaped by it, informed by the archetypal patterns that reside within. In the empath-narcissist relationship, the personal unconscious often manifests as projections, those disowned aspects of the self that are cast onto the other. For the empath, the personal unconscious may hold a reservoir of unacknowledged desires and fears, those parts of themselves that they have denied in their quest to help others. These projections, though often unconscious, serve as a mirror, reflecting the empath's own inner landscape and the work that remains to be done. The narcissist, likewise, projects their insecurities and inadequacies onto the empath, perceiving their light as both alluring and threatening. In the process of individuation, the integration of these projections is essential. It is a journey of self-discovery, of reclaiming the disowned parts of the self and embracing the totality of one's being. This journey, though deeply personal, is also a collective one, a testament to the shared humanity that binds us all. Dreams, those nightly sojourns into the unconscious, offer guidance on this path. They are the language of the soul, speaking to us in symbols and metaphors that reveal the deeper truths of our psyche. For the empath, dreams may offer insight into their own patterns of self-neglect, illuminating the need for self-care and boundaries. The narcissist, through their dreams, may confront the emptiness of their pursuits, the futility of seeking validation from without rather than within. In this exploration, we are reminded of the power of symbols, those bridges between the conscious and the unconscious. Symbols speak to us in a language that transcends the limitations of rational thought, offering insights that are both personal and universal. The empath's light, the narcissist's shadow, the dance of projections, all are symbols that invite us to delve deeper, to uncover the mysteries of the psyche, to embrace the totality of our being. As we continue our journey, let us hold in our hearts the wisdom of the ages, the understanding that within each of us lies the potential for transformation, for the alchemical marriage of light and shadow that leads to the realization of the self. This journey, though fraught with challenges, offers the promise of wholeness, of a reconciliation of opposites that transcends the limitations of the individual psyche. In this spirit, I invite you to explore the depths of your own psyche, to illuminate the shadows that reside within, to embark on the path of individuation. In this quest, may you find the courage to embrace both light and shadow, to recognize the unity that arises from their reconciliation, and to realize the potential for transformation that lies within the heart of the human soul. And so, as we continue on this path, let us do so with open hearts and minds, ever mindful of the light and shadow that reside within us all, as we proceed deeper into the exploration of the empath and the narcissist. Let us turn our attention to the concept of the self, that central archetype in the psyche that represents the totality of the individual, the synthesis of conscious and unconscious elements. The self is the ultimate goal of the individuation process, the realization of wholeness and integration within the individual. It is a journey that requires the reconciliation of opposites, the harmonization of light and shadow, and the acceptance of the multifaceted nature of the psyche in the context of the empath-narcissist dynamic. The journey towards the self is particularly poignant. The empath, with their profound sensitivity, often feels a deep connection to the world around them, perceiving the interconnectedness of all things. This connection, while a source of empathy and compassion, can also lead to a blurring of boundaries, a loss of self amidst the emotions and energies of others. The empath's task, then, is to cultivate a strong sense of individuality, to differentiate their own identity from the collective to assert their own needs and desires as valid and worthy. The narcissist, on the other hand, is often consumed by the ego, their sense of self constructed upon the shifting sands of external validation. This over-identification with the ego, with the persona they present to the world, obscures the deeper truth of the self, the wholeness that lies beyond the facade. The narcissist's journey towards the self involves the dismantling of these ego defenses, the willingness to confront the shadow, to embrace vulnerability and authenticity. In this process, the role of the shadow is crucial. The shadow, that repository of all that we reject and deny within ourselves, is a powerful force within the psyche. It is the embodiment of our fears, insecurities, and unacknowledged desires, those aspects of ourselves that we have cast into darkness. For the empath, the shadow may manifest as a reluctance to acknowledge their own needs and desires, a tendency to self-sacrifice in the pursuit of healing others. Embracing the shadow involves recognizing these patterns, integrating them into the conscious self, and allowing them to inform one's actions in a balanced and healthy way. For the narcissist, the shadow is often the fear of inadequacy, the terror of being seen as unworthy or flawed. This fear drives their relentless pursuit of validation, the need to construct an image of perfection that conceals the vulnerability beneath. To integrate the shadow, the narcissist must confront these fears, embrace their imperfections, and find value in authenticity rather than appearance. The integration of the shadow is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process, a continual dialogue between the conscious and unconscious aspects of the psyche. It is a journey that requires courage and perseverance, a willingness to confront the unknown, to embrace the totality of one's being. In this journey, dreams serve as guides, offering insights into the unconscious, revealing the hidden aspects of the self that seek integration. Dreams, those nightly visitations from the unconscious, speak to us in the language of symbols and metaphors. They are the soul's way of communicating with the conscious mind, offering guidance and insight into the deeper truths of the psyche. For the empath, dreams may reveal patterns of self-neglect, illuminating the need for self-care and boundaries. The narcissist, through their dreams, may confront the emptiness of their pursuits, the futility of seeking validation from without rather than within. In the realm of dreams, the archetypes come alive, offering a glimpse into the universal patterns that shape our lives. The empath may encounter the healer archetype, a figure who embodies compassion and empathy, yet also carries the burden of self-sacrifice. The narcissist may meet the ruler archetype, a figure who seeks power and control, yet must confront the tyranny of the ego to achieve true sovereignty. Through these encounters, we are invited to reflect upon our own inner dynamics, to consider the archetypes that shape our perceptions and interactions. We are called to engage with our own light and shadow, to embark on the journey of self-discovery, to embrace the paradoxes within. This journey, though deeply personal, is also universal. a testament to the shared humanity that binds us all as we explore the depths of the psyche. Let us consider the role of creativity, that vital force that bridges the conscious and unconscious, that allows us to express the inexpressible. Creativity is the language of the soul, a means of accessing deeper truths of the psyche, of bringing the unconscious into the light of consciousness. For the empath, creativity may take the form of art, music, or writing, a means of channeling their sensitivity into tangible expressions of beauty and meaning. The narcissist, too, can find healing in creativity, using it as a means of exploring their inner world, of expressing their true self beyond the constraints of ego and persona. In this exploration, we are reminded of the power of symbols, those bridges between the conscious and the unconscious, the personal and the collective. Symbols speak to us in a language that transcends the limitations of rational thought, offering insights that are both personal and universal. The empath's light, the narcissist's shadow, for the dance of projections, all are symbols that invite us to delve deeper, to uncover the mysteries of the psyche, to embrace the totality of our being. As we continue our journey, let us hold in our hearts the wisdom of the ages, the understanding that within each of us lies the potential for transformation, for the alchemical marriage of light and shadow that leads to the realization of the self. This journey, though fraught with challenges, offers the promise of wholeness, of a reconciliation of opposites that transcends the limitations of the individual psyche. In this spirit, I invite you to explore the depths of your own psyche, to illuminate the shadows that reside within, to embark on the path of individuation. In this quest, may you find the courage to embrace both light and shadow, to recognize the unity that arises from their reconciliation, and to realize the potential for transformation that lies within the heart of the human soul. And so, as we continue on this path, let us do so with open hearts and minds, ever mindful of the light and shadow that reside within us all. As we journey further along the path of understanding the interplay between the empath and the narcissist, we must delve into the very fabric of connection that binds human souls, the intricate web of relationships. Relationships are the crucibles of transformation, the mirrors in which we see reflected not only the faces of others but the hidden corners of our own psyche. It is through our interactions with others that we encounter the multifaceted nature of the human condition. The dance of anima and animus, light and shadow. The empath, with their profound sensitivity, often navigates relationships with an acute awareness of the emotional undercurrents that flow beneath the surface. This sensitivity, while a gift, can also lead to a heightened sense of responsibility for the emotions and well-being of others. The empath may feel compelled to absorb the suffering of those around them, to act as a balm for the wounds of the world. Yet, in this noble endeavor, they must be wary of losing themselves, of becoming enmeshed in the lives of others to the detriment of their own individuality. The narcissist, in contrast, often approaches relationships as a means of self-affirmation, seeking out connections that bolster their self-image and provide the validation they crave. This dynamic can lead to a transactional view of relationships where others are seen as instruments to fulfill the narcissist's needs rather than as individuals with their own intrinsic worth. The narcissist's journey involves recognizing the limitations of this approach, embracing the vulnerability that true connection requires, and valuing others for who they are rather than what they can provide. In the alchemical process of relationship, both the empath and the narcissist are called to engage in the art of reflection, to consider how their interactions with others reveal the deeper truths of their own psyche. Relationships serve as mirrors, reflecting back the qualities we admire and those we reject, the light we embrace and the shadow we deny. It is through this reflective process that we come to understand the dynamics of projection, the ways in which we disown parts of ourselves and cast them onto others. For the empath, relationships often serve as a canvas upon which they project their own need for healing and redemption. They may be drawn to those who mirror their own unacknowledged wounds, seeking to mend in others what they must first heal within themselves. This projection, while rooted in compassion, can obscure the reality of the other, leading to a one-sided dynamic where the empath's needs remain unfulfilled. The narcissist, conversely, may project their insecurities onto others, perceiving any criticism or challenge as a threat to their fragile self-image. This projection can lead to a defensive posture, a reluctance to engage with the deeper truths that relationships reveal. The narcissist's task is to recognize these projections, to embrace the discomfort of self-reflection, and to allow relationships to serve as a catalyst for growth and transformation. In this interplay, we are reminded of the transformative power of love, that most potent of alchemical forces. Love, in its truest form, is an agent of change, a force that dissolves the boundaries between self and other, illuminating the unity that underlies all things. For the empath, love is an expression of their innate capacity for empathy and connection, a means of transcending the limitations of individuality and experiencing the wholeness of the collective. For the narcissist, love presents an opportunity to move beyond the confines of the ego, to embrace the vulnerability and authenticity that true connection requires. It is a call to step into the unknown, to risk the dissolution of the persona, and to discover the deeper truths of the self in the realm of dreams. Love often manifests as a unifying force, a symbol of the reconciliation of opposites. The empath may dream of a radiant light that envelops and connects all things, a symbol of the interconnectedness of the human soul. The narcissist may encounter a mirror, a reflective surface that reveals not only their outer visage, but the inner self they strive to conceal. These dreams, when heeded, offer guidance on the path of integration, the journey towards wholeness and individuation. As we contemplate these dynamics, let us reflect upon the role of forgiveness, that essential component of healing and transformation. Forgiveness, both of self and others, is a powerful force that releases the bonds of resentment and judgment, allowing the light of understanding and compassion to shine through. For the empath, forgiveness involves releasing the burden of responsibility for the emotions of others, recognizing that healing is a personal journey that cannot be imposed from without. The narcissist, in turn, must forgive themselves for the perceived inadequacies and failures that drive their quest for validation. This forgiveness is not a denial of responsibility, but an acceptance of the human condition, an acknowledgement of the imperfections that make us whole. In our exploration of the empath-narcissist dynamic, we are reminded of the cyclical nature of the psyche, the eternal dance of integration and differentiation. This dance, though fraught with challenges, offers the promise of transformation, of a reconciliation of opposites that transcends the limitations of the individual psyche. As we draw this part of our exploration to a close, let us turn inward to the unexplored territories of our own souls. The empath and the narcissist, though external archetypes, are also reflections of our internal world. We are called to engage with our own light and shadow, to embark on the journey of self-discovery, to embrace the paradoxes within. In this journey, may you find the courage to confront your own shadows, to integrate the disparate parts of your psyche, and to embrace the totality of your being. For it is through this process of individuation that we achieve not only personal fulfillment, but contribute to the greater harmony of the collective unconscious. And so, as we continue on this path, let us do so with open hearts and minds, ever mindful of the light and shadow that reside within us all. As we progress in our exploration of the intricate relationship between the empath and the narcissist, let us consider the profound role that transformation plays in the psyche's journey. Transformation is a key theme in the process of individuation, the path towards realizing one's true self. It is through the crucible of transformation that the raw materials of the psyche, its dreams, fears, aspirations, and shadows are transmuted into the gold of self-awareness and integration. The empath, with their profound connection to the emotional and spiritual dimensions of life, often experiences transformation as an ongoing process of renewal. This renewal is not merely a shedding of old skins, but a deepening of understanding, a clarifying of vision, and an expansion of compassion. The empath's journey is one of continual alignment with their inner light, a process that requires both courage and vulnerability. They must learn to embrace their sensitivity as a strength, not a weakness, and to wield their empathy with discernment and wisdom. Within the empath's journey, transformation often involves confronting their own boundaries, recognizing where their light ends and another's begins. It requires the discernment to know when to extend their healing energy and when to conserve it for their own growth. This discernment is not a wall that separates, but a bridge that connects, allowing the empath to engage with others from a place of wholeness rather than depletion. For the narcissist, transformation is often more tumultuous, as it involves dismantling the fortress of the ego, brick by brick. The narcissist's transformation is akin to the mythological descent into the underworld, a journey fraught with peril, yet rich with potential for rebirth. It is a journey towards authenticity, where the facade of invulnerability is replaced by genuine strength and self-awareness. The narcissist must confront the illusions that sustain their sense of superiority and control, recognizing that true power comes not from domination, but from integration. It is a process of reconciling the fragmented self, acknowledging the shadow, and embracing the vulnerability that they have long denied. This journey is not one of annihilation, but of transformation, a rebirth into a more authentic and connected self. In this dance of transformation, the role of the anima and animus becomes particularly significant. These inner figures, representing the feminine and masculine aspects within each of us, serve as guides on the journey of transformation. For the empath, the anima may offer a compassionate presence, a reminder of the strength found in vulnerability and emotional depth. The animus, in turn, may provide the assertiveness needed to establish boundaries and assert one's own needs. For the narcissist, the anima offers a path to the heart, a means of connecting with the deeper emotional truths that lie beneath the surface. The animus, when balanced, becomes a source of genuine confidence and self-assurance, no longer reliant on external validation. The integration of these inner figures is a crucial step in the process of transformation, offering a more balanced and harmonious expression of the self. As we delve deeper into this process, let us consider the symbolic nature of transformation as depicted in myths and dreams. In myths, transformation is often represented by the hero's journey, a narrative arc that involves departure, initiation, and return. The hero, like the empath and narcissist, must leave the familiar confines of the known world, face trials and tribulations, and ultimately return transformed, bearing the boon of self-discovery. Dreams, those enigmatic missives from the unconscious, often depict transformation through symbols of metamorphosis, the caterpillar becoming the butterfly, the phoenix rising from the ashes, the alchemical process of turning lead into gold. These symbols speak to the universal nature of transformation, the inherent potential for growth and renewal within each of us. In the empath-narcissist relationship, dreams may serve as catalysts for transformation, offering insights into the patterns and dynamics that underlie their interactions. The empath may dream of a journey through a dark forest, a symbol of their own exploration of the unknown depths of their psyche. The narcissist may dream of a crumbling tower, a representation of the ego's defenses being dismantled, making way for a more authentic self to emerge. As we reflect on these symbols, we are reminded of the cyclical nature of transformation, the eternal rhythm of growth, decay, and renewal. This cycle, mirrored in the natural world, is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The capacity for change and adaptation that lies at the heart of the psyche in our exploration of transformation. Let us also consider the role of suffering, that crucible in which the soul is tempered and refined. Suffering, though often seen as a source of pain, is also a powerful agent of transformation, a catalyst for growth and insight. For the empath, suffering may serve as a reminder of the importance of self-care and boundaries, a call to turn inward and nurture their own soul. For the narcissist, Suffering may be the impetus for confronting the shadow, for embracing the vulnerability they have long denied. Forgiveness to plays a vital role in transformation, offering a path towards healing and reconciliation. Forgiveness is not about condoning harm, but about releasing the bonds of resentment and judgment, allowing the light of compassion to illuminate the path forward. For the empath, forgiveness involves letting go of the need to heal others, recognizing that true healing comes from within. For the narcissist, forgiveness is an invitation to embrace their imperfections, to accept themselves as they are, and to find wholeness in authenticity. As we draw this part of our exploration to a close, let us tour inward to the unexplored territories of our own souls. The empath and the narcissist, though external archetypes, are also reflections of our internal world. We are called to engage with our own light and shadow, to embark on the journey of self-discovery, to embrace the paradoxes within. In this journey, may you find the courage to confront your own shadows, to integrate the disparate parts of your psyche, and to embrace the totality of your being. For it is through this process of individuation that we achieve not only personal fulfillment, but contribute to the greater harmony of the collective unconscious. And so, as we continue on this path, let us do so with open hearts and minds, ever mindful of the light and shadow that reside within us all. As we continue to navigate the rich tapestry of the empath and narcissist dynamic, let us delve into the essential theme of balance, a cornerstone of psychological health and spiritual harmony. Balance, in this context, refers to the delicate equilibrium between giving and receiving, between light and shadow, between the conscious and unconscious aspects of the psyche. It is a dynamic state that requires constant attention and adjustment, much like the careful tuning of a musical instrument. For the empath, balance is often found in the art of self-care, a practice that involves nurturing one's own needs while remaining open to the needs of others. This practice is not a selfish endeavor, but a necessary condition for sustaining the empath's capacity to connect and heal. It is about recognizing that one cannot pour from an empty cup, that the light they offer to others must be replenished through acts of self-nurture, reflection, and solitude. The empath's challenge is to maintain this balance, to ensure that their giving is not a depletion but an overflow of the abundance within. In contrast, the narcissist's journey towards balance involves a shift from self-absorption to self-awareness. It requires moving from a focus on external validation to an appreciation of internal worth. This transition is not about denying their need for recognition, but about finding a more sustainable and authentic source of self-esteem. Balance for the narcissist is achieved through the integration of self-reflection and empathy, allowing them to see others not as mere extensions of their own ego, but as beings with intrinsic value. The search for balance in these relationships can be likened to the ancient alchemical process of harmonizing opposites. Alchemy, with its rich symbolism and transformative power, provides a metaphor for the psychological process of achieving balance. In alchemy, The goal is to reconcile the opposites of sulfur and mercury, representing the fiery and volatile with the fluid and mercurial. This union, known as the conjunctio, symbolizes the integration of the masculine and feminine, the conscious and unconscious within the psyche in the empath narcissist dynamic. For this alchemical union is mirrored in the integration of light and shadow, in the reconciliation of empathy and ego. It is a process that requires both parties to engage in the work of inner transformation, to confront the aspects of themselves that they have disowned or repressed. For the empath, this means embracing their own power and agency, recognizing that they are not merely vessels for others' emotions, but active participants in their own lives. For the narcissist, it involves acknowledging their vulnerabilities and fears, allowing their authentic self to emerge from beneath the protective layers of the ego. Dreams, those nightly voyages into the unconscious, often provide guidance on this path towards balance. They may present the empath with images of overflowing vessels, symbols of the need to replenish their inner resources. The narcissist may encounter dreams of mirrors, reflecting their own image back to them, challenging them to look beyond the surface and into the depths of their own soul. These dreams, when interpreted with care and insight, offer valuable clues to the inner work that remains to be done. Let us also consider the role of mindfulness in achieving balance, that practice of present moment awareness that allows us to engage fully with the here and now. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for both the empath and the narcissist, offering a means of grounding oneself in reality and cultivating a deeper awareness of one's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. For the empath, mindfulness can serve as a reminder to stay present with their own needs, to listen to the wisdom of their body and emotions. For the narcissist, mindfulness offers a pathway to self-reflection, a means of observing their own patterns and tendencies without judgment. In the practice of mindfulness, we find a parallel to the ancient practice of meditation, a discipline that has been used for centuries to cultivate inner peace and balance. Meditation invites us to turn inward, to explore the vast landscapes of our own psyche, and to find stillness amidst the chaos of the external world. It is a practice that encourages us to embrace both light and shadow, to recognize the transient nature of thoughts and emotions, and to connect with the deeper truths of our being. As we explore these themes, let us remember the wisdom of the Tao, that ancient philosophy that speaks to the harmony of opposites, the balance of yin and yang. The Tao teaches us that life is a continual dance of dualities, a dynamic interplay of forces that must be embraced in their totality. This wisdom is reflected in the journey of the empath and the narcissist, in their quest for balance and integration. In our exploration of balance, we are reminded of the importance of community, of the connections that sustain and support us on our journey. Community is a vital source of balance, offering a network of relationships that provide both challenge and support, reflection and validation. For the empath, community offers a space to share their gifts, to connect with others who understand their sensitivities and struggles. For the narcissist, community provides a mirror. reflecting back the impact of their actions and offering opportunities for growth and transformation. As we draw this part of our exploration to a close, let us turn once more to the inner landscapes of our own souls. The empath and the narcissist, though external archetypes, are also reflections of our internal world. We are called to engage with our own light and shadow, to embark on the journey of self-discovery, to embrace the paradoxes within. In this journey, may you find the courage to confront your own shadows, to integrate the disparate parts of your psyche, and to embrace the totality of your being. For it is through this process of individuation that we achieve not only personal fulfillment, but contribute to the greater harmony of the collective unconscious. And so, as we continue on this path, let us do so with open hearts and minds, ever mindful of the light and shadow that reside within us all.